photographers. Here's what I know about tripods, although admittedly my guidance is idiosyncratic, or it's based on my needs and my experience. So, Rule 1. You will buy increasingly more expensive tripods until you reach your level of satisfaction. And although there are many brands to choose from of roughly equal superior quality, Manfrotto is my go-to. Rule 2. 1 is not enough. And for my practice, I need 3 tripods. A baby bear that collapses and folds enough to fit in a carry-on suitcase, a mama bear that's versatile for most situations, and papa bear for studio shoots in locations where height and stability are important. A few weeks ago, SmallRig told me that they'd soon be releasing a tripod and offered to send me one for review. This is the AD-01, product 3751, a heavy-duty, fluid-head tripod. So, as with most products shipped from China, return shipping costs mean I get to keep it. But SmallRig did not pay me, didn't get to review the script or this video before posting. These are my unfiltered thoughts and observations. And they also sent along their new small video head mount plate with leveling base. Get to that later in this video. The AD-01 weighs about 4 kilos and is made from aluminum alloy. That makes it lighter than average, so I'll note that there's no hook to hang a sandbag to weight it down. Now, folded up about 90 centimeters, it sets up from 85 centimeters at its lowest height to 186 centimeters fully extended. That's taller than I am. Its design seems inspired by, if not copied, from Papa Bear here. This is my Manfrotto 546B base. With a 504 HD fluid head, they're sold as a kit, and that emulation copies all the way down to the little clips that hold the legs on the base together for transport. This is my studio tripod. I will make most of my comparisons to this one. Although I should note that Manfrotto provides 2 clips, really all that's required. A SmallRig provides 1 for each leg and a backup, 4 in total. Now, the Manfrotto combo is heavier, about 6 kilos, and while in most instances lighter is preferred, for a tripod of this size, the heavier weight adds stability. Manfrotto's minimum height is lower, goes down to 44 centimeters, but its 167 centimeter extension is about 20 centimeters less. There's also a substantial price difference. And while this is a standard Manfrotto kit, the head can be mounted on other bases. Videographers call them sticks, and other heads for both stills and video are compatible with the 75mm bowl mount. The SmallRig head, which includes a protective cover, can be removed. It uses the same sized 75mm bowl, making it interchangeable with the 504. Now, it can accommodate a payload up to 8 kilos. For reference, my A7 IV in its cage with the iPad prompter and monitor tips the scale at about 4 kilos. And here's a handy, sorry about that, detail. This gap at the top of each leg provides an interesting design affordance, making it easier to carry. And each leg has 5 elements. There are 6 levers to adjust the height. The top 3 extend the outer 2 legs up. Now, it's solid and stable this high, which is pretty close to my eye height. Go higher by releasing the bottom 3 levers, which extend the single center leg down. At full extension, it feels less stable. And the mid-spreader on these sticks is not convertible and non-adjusting. The Manfrotto sticks can be purchased with ground-level spreaders, which is what I'm using, or mid-level. Both are also available as optional accessories, and both spreaders can be adjusted in and out, which increase the footprint and stability. Mid-level is preferred for locations where the ground may not be level. Now, using adjustable ground level spreaders keeps the tripod's footprint consistent, regardless of height. The distance between the feet can be set from about 60 to just over 100 centimeters, which lowers the height and increases stability as needed. With the AD-01, at its lowest height, the footprint is 50, but spread can't be adjusted independently of the height. And when fully extended, it's 110 centimeters from leg to leg, space that's difficult to find when you're in a crowded club and you're at full height to get over the crowd. It also adds the complexity of setup and collapsed. Now, incidentally, the feet are plastic caps over a round ball, so they can swivel on uneven ground. No complaints, but let me show you the Manfrotto, which has spiked feet. In addition to these plastic feet and the base level spreader, an optional wheeled dolly base is available for trucking around the studio. So that's one incompatibility between these two. And now that the AD-01 is upside down, I can see that there's an Allen key adjustment for the tension of the lever that holds the leg. Experience says that these can be useful, as the tension will change over time. Let's return to right side up and have a look at the head. This is a fluid head which pans and tilts smoothly. That's the most basic requirement for video. For stills, not so much. The quick release plate seems innovative as it fits the supplied plate, the equivalent Manfrotto plate, and the DJI RS2 plate from the Ronin gimbal. This button slides to make the adjustment. Now, it would be nice if a standard Arca Swiss plate was also accommodated. Push the plate onto the head and it snaps down, which stops it from sliding off. And then slide this lever back to release it again. Turn the knob to tighten it in position. Now, to release, loosen it and then slide the lever. And it's working reasonably well, as I demonstrated, but in practice, it's not completely cooperative. The promotional materials imply that it's simpler than it is. So if it's possible to mount or release a camera using only the release lever, somehow I couldn't figure out how. Now, the 12-centimeter plate includes a standard 1/4-inch post to mount a camera. Bottom of the post has the standard slot, which is why I always have a 1/4 in my pocket. But the plate has a secret magnetic pocket for an Allen key in case I lose the 1/4. A Manfrotto plate will mount on the SmallRig head, but the reverse is not true. Now, there's also a pin for cameras that have a second alignment socket. It pushes out of the way, but can also be removed if needed. Now, the underside of the head has storage for alternate posts and includes a larger 3/8/16 post. Handy, thoughtful. And there's also a 1/4-inch mounting point on the side for accessories. Now, to level the head, reach underneath and turn the grip to loosen it. The bubble level shows when it's centered. Because of the positioning, tripod bubble levels are always hard to see. Some are illuminated, this one isn't, but they're always awkward. If someone's got a better solution, I haven't seen it. Now, if your camera has a level display, you're better off using that. Now, the SmallRig pan arm is about 35 centimeters long and mounts on either a right side or left side configuration. That will depend on your preference for the positioning of both the pan arm and the tilt lock. Now, the head rotates 360 degrees, tilts down 90 and up 75 degrees. And with the pan arm on the right, I'm using my left hand to release and lock the tilt. Now, there's no counterweight mechanism, so if the camera tends to tilt up or down, you'll be making adjustments by moving the camera on the plate or the plate on the head. My prompter and monitor rig, which totals about 4 kilos, is quite front-heavy, but the tilt lock has no issues holding it in place. The pan lock and release is at the back. Now, there are no friction or tension settings, but they both operate smoothly with slightly less resistance than my preference. Admittedly, that also depends on the weight of the camera, but particularly when it's not level and stable. I found it difficult to release the locks without a small disruption to framing. When it's front heavy with the prompter, it requires a very firm turn to lock up. But all of that's a bit of a learning curve as you develop the right muscle memory operational techniques. This is certainly not the only tripod that requires some experience to get the best results. Along with everything else I mentioned, there's also a very basic manual with tiny print in English and Chinese. Summary: several nice features, a little quirky. Then there's this video head mount plate product 4170. This certainly fits in better with the SmallRig brand. In fact, it's a little too small for Mama Bear. Seems the right size for the Baby Bear Me Photo travel tripod, which already has a ball head and a Arca Swiss plate. Now, product 4170 weighs 350 grams, it's 9 centimeters tall, and with the removable handle about 18 centimeters long. Handle extends a further 7 centimeters. Now, the stated payload is 4 kilos. In my judgment, that would completely overpower this small device. There's a circular base with a knurled locking knob. Now, to level, use the small spirit level indicator. There's about 10 degrees of adjustment. The base has a 1/4 inch 20 socket and a sleeve that can be removed for 3/8 16, as well as a magnetic pocket for the Allen key. The small Arca Swiss quick release plate has a 1/4 inch 20 screw to mount a camera, has a little flip-up thingy in case you've forgotten your quarter. The knob at the top locks the plate in place. There's also a 1/4 inch 20 accessory port on the left side. Tilt lock on the left, pan lock underneath, up 55 degrees, down 90. There are degree markings for panorama shooters. Neither pan or tilt offer much resistance, making it difficult to start or stop a pan or tilt smoothly. Now, the manual included here is larger, although the print is still minuscule. Now the timelines for this video meant I haven't had the opportunity to use either in a wide variety of situations or to determine the long-term reliability. I've owned the Italian-made Manfrotto for over 10 years, used it a lot, no issues. But if something comes up with the AD-01, I'll add it to the description below. Or at this price, does reliability even matter? I'm not sure how SmallRig can sell it for such a low price. Certainly seems like a bargain. Well, I like the AD-01, and if you already own an equivalent Sackler or Manfrotto, I wouldn't consider it an upgrade. However, if you don't own a tripod that does what the AD-01 does, either in terms of height or flexibility, it's a good addition to your kit. As I said, not paid by SmallRig or any manufacturer. They gave me the products, but no money changed hands. My sponsors are those of you who are the members of this channel. We're all thankful for those of you who've joined, so I can turn off YouTube's ad interruptions and refuse sponsors who'd like me to read ads during my videos. And as always, I read and reply to all civil comments and relevant questions. Thanks for taking the time to watch today. Stay safe.